Hi, I'm Sol Esprit, the author most feared by those who fear exposure of their shameful misdeeds. As a servant of the Most High God, Jesus Christ, I have an anointing to oppose evil wherever I find it, and to call evil, evil, and good, good. I leave no darkness uncovered, no lies unknown, no wickedness in high places shielded from the bright light of the truth of the Holy Scriptures found in the 1611 King James Bible. For that is my guide and the source of my truth, and it is perfect and irrefutable. Legalized criminality is a term which I coined to describe an organization which exists wherever there are individuals with sufficient power, influence, and lack of principled integrity to exert their will upon those who are without the ability to thwart such control. It is a characteristic of all ancient and modern societies, and to a lesser degree of so-called primitive cultures, where the richest and most aggressive, greedy, and unscrupulous individuals usurp control over those whom they assume ownership. In modern societies, the larger the government, the greater the extortion racketeering syndicate it is. The structure of this criminal enterprise can be quite vast, and incorporates elements outside of itself which share a common purpose and mode of operation. For instance, various kinds of lawless fringe groups are employed by the respectable public persona of an established jurisdictional government. Groups that have been traditionally associated with ethnicity, such as the Mafia, Italian, Israeli, Japanese, Chinese, respectively termed the Mob, Mossad, Yakuza, Tong, and others. Of interest, their methods of operation are quite similar to established governments, and means of people control are efficiently implemented by both groups to bring about a desired result. The number of ways that the poor and defenseless public can be controlled and used for the power elite's enrichment and advantage are seemingly endless. Here are a few examples which compare the more overt form of human tyranny, that is, the mafias, with a socially acceptable version that is commonly seen in any municipal, state, or federal jurisdiction. Illegal criminals engage in loan sharking, also known as shylocking. Legal criminals loan money and expect a return on that which they have stolen by taxation. Illegal criminals obtain money by the use of threats. Legal criminals acquire money by extortion in their courts. Illegal criminals offer protection under the threat of violence. Legal criminals won't steal your house, bank account, automobiles, or anything else you may own of value, as long as you allow them to take a certain portion of your hard-earned income in the form of income taxes. Note, if you are very successful, they will take it all. Illegal criminals use hitmen to buffer and insulate themselves from their criminal activity. Legal criminals use the police as mob enforcers to carry out their criminal misdeeds. A short list of legal crimes are collecting revenue for victimless petty non-crimes, falsifying information, unlawful arrest, unlawful detainment, prosecuting victimless crimes, racial profiling, theft of private property, trespassing, lying to protect other legal criminals, aggravated assault, assault with a deadly weapon, child abduction, rape, pedophilia, and murder, which they call justifiable homicide, to name only a few. Illegal criminals employ contract murder for hire, to silence the opposition. Legal criminals use SWAT teams, the military, house raids, highway checkpoints, and more to beat down those who rise up in protest against them. Illegal criminals use sadomasochistic torture in basement dungeons. Legal criminals have their equivalent in federal prisons and municipal jails, where perverts, that is, jailers and cops, torture, maim, and murder. Statist government is merely a very large mafia enterprise. It is a fraternity of criminals which is supported and reinforced by its various departments in order to be protected from any possibility of backlash from a righteous minority. If legal criminals perceive you as easy prey for exploitation and usurpation, if you are alone, poor, and without any social support, you will be targeted for venting their psychosis. As Greta once said, the coward only threatens when he is safe. Legal criminals are the ultimate in cowardice. Governments exist for their own self-perpetuation. They provide no useful services except as maintenance janitors for such unsavory tasks as human garbage collectors to fill their jails and to repair potholes in the road. Any peaceful society can efficiently function without them by using free enterprise. The less their presence and influence in a community, the more peaceful and efficiently it operates. An interesting statistic to show is that the fewer cops which are employed on Sundays, and that is the one day of the week when crime is at its lowest frequency. In other words, it's the police who incite, provoke, and create crimes. A sane culture does not need so-called law enforcement, a term which legal criminals created to justify their tyranny. Any rational person will agree that police are a menace to society. Legalized criminality finds its outward expression in Freemasonry, which is a Luciferian cult masquerading as a benevolent men's club. It is populated with an assortment of oppressive powermongers such as police, judges, politicians, attorneys, small business, and corporate power seekers, those pathetic individuals desiring legal protection from the consequences of their criminality. Prominently displayed at the city limits of Masonic-dominated municipalities is this symbol designating rulership by the cult of those who worship Lucifer the devil. Thomas Jefferson once said, "When government fears the people, there is liberty. When the people fear the government, there is tyranny." There has never been a shortage of those who are willing to usurp the rights of others in exchange for the illusion of personal power. Certain personality types gravitate toward positions of government authority in order to satisfy their psychological pathology. Consequently, some of the most aberrant members of any society are associated with government institutions. Police, attorneys, judges, and politicians are categories that are populated with severely mentally ill, petty control freaks who are able to mask their sociopathic behavior by functioning within a system of oppressive rules and regulations, laws and ordinances which violate God-given human freedom and dignity. Psychologically healthy individuals have no such desire to exert power and control over other people. The government mafia is a consequence of just how easy it is to control large masses of people who lack the integrity to regulate their own lives, and instead will forfeit their freedom to an organized mob of criminals who outwardly appear righteous but are full of hypocrisy and wickedness of every kind. Benjamin Franklin stated, "Any people who exchange liberty for safety deserve neither liberty nor safety." The extortion racketeering syndicate, which calls itself by various other names such as the City of, or the State of, or the Nation of, is a pooling ground that has traditionally been the locus of the greatest crimes against humanity. One need only reflect upon the wars and military conflicts which were fomented and legalized to further rich men's special interests, or the legalized abortion murder of millions of unborn babies, or the violation of other basic human rights involving the right to live or live free and unhindered from the revenue-connecting mob of uniformed metal midgets who proudly wear a uniform and display a badge which entitles them to steal, kill, and destroy without impunity from what in any rational, sane society would result in their violent overthrow and death. Like the organized government itself, we are a sick society that cannot be fixed, no matter how much it is beaten and abused. No amount of extortion by the courts, or assault, murder, and rape by the police, or payoff and lies by the judges and politicians can correct what is wrong in the spirit of men who value personal comfort more than the truth. As Pink Floyd once sang, "A clean bowl in a cage, and a walk-on part in a war." But somewhere there are a few who did not compromise, and who value the truth more than the illusion of a well-cared-for herd animal. These are the souls who live their life in accordance with a higher standard, one that God established, and which supersedes all laws, decrees, and jurisdictions of corrupt men. These few are made in the image of God and serve Him only. All the others will submit to whatever substitute authority is expedient and requires the least amount of virtue, righteousness, and personal integrity. With the government mafia legalized criminality, they got exactly what they deserved.